You actually just reminded me of another awesome fitness myth that even a lot of people on Fit likely still believe. That was always like a topic of debate where they'd be like, you gotta space out your protein intake because your body can only absorb so much at one time,
Or that it would hurt your liver even.
or yeah, or that it would just or that
I've
it
heard
would
that.
yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Obviously, overloading protein to someone who is untrained is not a good thing because it can stress the kidneys to an extent. But like the myth that you have to space out protein intake to however many grams every hour because you can only absorb so much is insane to me. You're telling me that you don't think that the human body has mechanisms in place that are able
And
to
store, yeah.
store or absorb what you put into it. Like your small intestine has a number of receptors that act like where do you think it goes? Do you think it just like goes away? Like no, it just waits till the receptors are active again and then takes it then. Like contents of your stomach can sit there for a while. Like
Right.
it just I
I don't
can't.
think mine do. Like, I track it with corn, and rarely can I get corn to stay in my system more than like 6 hours.
I
Well,
will say that
that's
when I
different.
quit drinking, my transit time increased a lot. Like when I was drinking heavily,
Yeah,
I
man.
yeah, everything went right through me. But like when I quit, it's like I noticed that my transit time went up to
Well,
like a day.
Yeah, man.
I
You weren't all
drink
stopped up all the time.
a good bit, and but like my thing is like I'm always hydrated. Like if you're pissing yellow and getting drunk, you're in trouble.
Oh, I agree with that for sure.
If anything is yellow, then you're in trouble, buddy. Like if your eyes are yellow, if your skin's
No,
yellow.
no, I just mean like if you piss with a yellow tint to it and you've been drinking all for a bit, then you're in trouble. Like anytime you're drinking, piss should be crystal clear.
Yeah, you're at the very least gonna be really hungover. So I'm looking at
And
Street View of Ruston right now, and Dudley still stands proud, even though they got rid of Cottingham.
oh yeah, like, check the year on it, dude. The development in Ruston, because like in 18 months they can demolish a dorm, have it a new building there, and landscaping and all that. They're buying like
That,
10-year
all
old
of that
trees
shit on
plant.
all of that shit on Tech Drive, like where Cottingham and Richardson, which was already abandoned when we were there, and Mitchell and all that. I can't believe that's all gone. It looks nice, but I'm like,
No, no, it ain't right.
yeah, it ain't right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
Like,
really think having an abandoned dorm to run around in my freshman year and sneak around in was a very big part of my developmental experience.
Oh, dude, yeah.
did
So like,
you live in Cottingham?
Oh, dude, I lurked the hell out of Cottingham.
Yeah, I moved from Graham to Cottingham halfway through freshman year, and man, Cottingham in like May 2016, April 2016, they started having trouble with the hot water and the power in there. Like the power kept going out, and then there were cockroaches in there. I remember I woke up with like the biggest cockroach on my pillow, and
uh,
I'm
uh,
uh, I'm not normally like super scared of bugs. Like they bother me, but like the I'm not. But that like I it was like my skin like I skin crawling, and like I halfway jumped out of my skin, and I was like, we are going. I lived with Connor uh, at the time, and I was like, we are going to fucking Walmart and getting all the raid they have.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
dude. So that's my thing, right? Like, no, I'm not fucking scared of bugs and shit. I'm disgusted by them. There's a difference. Like,
Yeah,
no, they
yep.
cockroaches legitimately scared me one day. Like this is back when I lived with my parents back in the day, but I woke up to something crawling on my face and all that, and I started moving, and that freaked out the cockroach. And it saw like my nose, and it was trying to run up my nose
they're
for
Oh,
disgusting,
safety.
dude. Yeah.
And like I woke up to like a cockroach just trying to like I could feel its fingers in my like its legs in my nose trying to dig its
Oh
way in to
fuck,
get away from me. And I'm like, no, 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 not good.
fuck, man.
you're like Cleveland. No, 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 no.
But yeah, Tech Drive looks really nice now with those all those new things. They had that abandoned pool too. I wonder if they got rid of that.
They still got griffs.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like the pool's gone. That pool looked like, because it had like the mural of like athleticism and shit at the top. It looked like an old Soviet building.
Oh, was that the old gym across from Mitchell?
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
looks like it's still there as of October 2023, but there was a pool next to it. It's a parking lot now. There was a pool
Oh my
next
God.
to it that
It's like
looks like an
Zoom.
abandoned like Soviet pool.
Dude, that whole building looked like a Soviet. Like once you, like the outside looked regular, red brick and all that matched, but the inside felt very Soviet.
No, you
Yeah.
bitch, you fat bitch.
And I mean, fuck, Graham looked like a fucking commie block.
Oh, dude, the old what was the girl's Harper? Harper was
That's a
literally
commie
like
block.
yeah, it was literally just a single commie block dropped in the middle of campus.
Oh man, but the dorms like Dudley and but specifically Graham looks like a Khrushchevka. So they built like 15 million units of 3-story housing in the Soviet Union after World War II, and it like that really reminds me of a Khrushchevka.
I never heard of the Khrushchevkas.
Yeah, because
I
they were
never
built
heard
under Khrushchev. So like, yeah, like if you talk to Russians, they're like, oh, I live in a Khrushchevka because they're cheap and like lots of people grew up in them and shit. But they were prefabbed buildings so they could ship the concrete walls on like trains and shit. It was very efficient, and they're fine. I mean, it's a shelter, but they're kind
So
of
it's like the modern American apartment complex.
pretty much. And they were like a lot of people, even though they're kind of small, it was like their first private apartment because before everything got destroyed in World War II and they built the Khrushchevkas, a lot of people lived in communal apartments.
Okay.
But the Khrushchevkas, at least it was private and your own, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was talking to a military recruiter a while back, and I'm like, "So why do you want to be the in the nuclear program?" Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure even the Soviet Union treated their nuclear guys pretty damn well. And the more communist our country gets, I need to get closer and closer to the nuclear stuff.
Denny's in that.
And but they kept telling me I need to be a pilot, but like in the Navy, in my size, there's only one option. That's called flying an Osprey.
Right.
And I can't do anything sporty in the Osprey. Even in the simulator, I was scared to bank more than like 25 degrees.
Damn, this guy.
Oh, I did get to fly the military Osprey sim. It was pretty cool.
That's dope.
It was actually way harder than DCS. DCS is doing a little bit of nerfing on like the sensitivity of the sticks and moving and engine time lag and all that.
Yeah. I still play the shit out of DCS, but I heard that they're making an F-35 module, and that kind of like blows the whole my whole ability to like really trust that it's accurate out of the water.
Yeah, because like throttle sensitivity in DCS was 10 times better than
Dude,
doing the military sims.
I have a really
I
high
will
throttle
say-
sensitivity, if you know what I mean.
The A10, the DCS A10 is pretty damn good though. Like
Oh, the
Like, they
boys are
used
talking
it-
about planes again.
they used it as the not the main simulator, but at least the desktop simulator for the Air National Guard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, 'cause
I know the Russian military used the Ka-52, a slightly modified version of the Ka-52 DCS Black Shark for training their pilots.
Yeah, because outside the real sim, like, the big IMAX looking sim rig,
Yeah.
they had a bunch of triple screen monitors with like some Thrustmaster setups on it.
Yeah.
And then, I guess once you graduate that, you go to the big sim. And dude, the big sim is like a
Need
full
or use?
cockpit and
Need,
everything.
Not use.
And all the buttons are real. You're not mimicking the buttons. You press the button in the cockpit and all that,
That's
just
dope.
like you would in the plane.
Yeah,
it
and I
has,
feel
like,
like
a
there's
big-
a certain... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
And then like the windshield is like 10 feet out in front of it. It's like this big, like, 270 degree wraparound IMAX. So like when I was landing and stuff, I can't quite see over the front, or like trying to see the aerial refuel knob and all. Like you could like sit up in your seat, look over the dash to see what you're looking at instead of like, all that. Like, it literally felt kind of like you were in a plane.
Yeah. The only other option for the Navy is the P-3 Orion, like the anti-submarine warfare planes.
Well, that and the Hornet.
Nice.
Yeah. But my uncle was the like sono buoy operator. I don't know what you would call that station on it. In those, and he liked it. It was fun.
But like my brother-in-law is an Osprey pilot, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of cool because you have to be a certified helicopter and airplane pilot, so you just have to do everything and be certified at everything. Then they let you fly it.
Dude, you got to be
They
a certified
finally,
helicopter.
They finally worked out the problems with the Osprey, and it's like pretty decent now.
I haven't had an Osprey pilot tell me that. I mean, they like it's okay to fly, but they all have like a little bit of distrust because like I'll send them memes like, if I die like flying, don't say he died doing what he loved. Just know I like miscalculated my weight and like how hard I could bank, and I was screaming when I hit the ground. And he's like, I fly an Osprey. We'll do everything right. Then the computer will just bug, say fuck you, and crash.
Yeah. I guess maybe I was hoping they had worked out the problems, but I could be wrong.
No, man, you can't. You got problems. They ain't gonna solve them.
Well, no, it's really not that bad because, like,
Oh, it's bad.
honestly, I thought it would be
16 of
super
them-
hard to transition from hover to flight. But yeah, no, it has a bunch of safeties on there where you can't like actually make it crash itself. It'll just we're not moving the engine further than that.
No, man, I 16 of them crashed yesterday in the news. You didn't see that?
Oh, no, I didn't express that, but they did do pretty good. They got a Reddit, like a bunch of schizos on Reddit going at them because they just fly around for fun. They got to get hours in the cockpit. They got nothing to do, so they just fly around. And they went just up to San Francisco to like go look at the Golden Gate Bridge, and they were flying around the city looking at the skyline.
Oh yeah.
Just low, playing around and stuff. And then the next day they were sending me like, look at all these Reddit threads. There's a bunch of guys in San Francisco. What are these planes? Why are they flying around San Francisco? They're planning something. Trump got in, and now they're scouting. In reality, it's just
They're planning something.
yeah. In reality, it's just a bunch of guys like we got nothing better to do than just fly around.
It's like Ben said his uncle, who was in the Air Force, would fly to Memphis just to get like barbecue.
You look like a stalker.
Oh, I can believe it. Like, I was working up in Alabama, and like I saw like a plane flying around. It was flying really low, and it was hanging around the area doing like figure eights, just circling the plant I was working at. And I'm like, let me go ask about this. I'm like, it flew low enough I could read the markings. Like I told my brother-in-law, he's like, oh yeah, that's a trainer plane. I used to fly those when I was training in Pensacola. Yeah, no, he's just probably got like 8 hours of flight time to burn, so he's just hanging out. I'm like, oh,
man.
okay.
Yeah. I just remember when I was little, I thought the Osprey was so cool, like futuristic. Like, I was like, this shit is like Halo.
I mean, it kind of is. I was playing around
It's
and
like a fucking Halo.
I was playing around in one when I was on base, and dude, they got like a paper skin. I thought they were like aluminum coated or something. It is a plastic Kevlar covering. It is a aluminum frame with a composite, thick paper
So
covering.
how did you were like talking about joining the Navy, right?
Oh yeah, I had like a slow month at work, and I'm like, well, shit, I better find a job before rent's due. So I went to the recruiter office because when I was applying for jobs, they were like, we'll pay you $4,000 a month to go to school. And I'm like, you're going to pay me $4,000 a month to go to school?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And then you go to the recruiter and they're like, well, it depends, maybe. Yeah, no, yeah, no. And I'm like, you're not going to sell me on the yeah, no's.
They'll give you the rigmarole.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and then-
I will say though, if you do join, take full advantage of the GI Bill.
Oh yeah, like I went to the air show and I was talking to them because like when I was talking to the neighbor recruiter, they made me take their little test and I got a 93 on it. It's like a A minus, and they're like, "Oh great, we don't even care that you're fat anymore." Because at first they were like, "You're gonna have to lose some weight, go to like fat camp and this and that."
Fat camp. You
Yeah,
gotta
and then I
go-
took the test
Sorry,
and they're like,
bud.
"No,
You
you're
gotta go
good to
to fat
join."
camp.
How old are you?
28.
So there's no like hard limit when you're 28.
Oh
I
no,
don't think there's a level cap for the military.
They say that technically they needed some waiver or some BS once you're 28. I thought.
No, and I was talking to like the army recruiters, and I was like, "No, I got a pin in my hip. I can't do like any of the jobs in the army I ever really wanted to do." And they're like, "Dude, that's perfect. We can get you full retirement in like 6 years." And I'm like, this is not how we're supposed to be recruiting. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm like. Sometimes with the military, I'm like, so when do we learn how to fuck shit up and achieve victory?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, "No, dude, you're just supposed to hang around and take disability."
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you're here to hang out. We don't actually do anything. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Exactly. And like, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it's like
No,
the
no.
purpose of this. The
Bro.
purpose of this should be to fuck shit up. Like,
90% of my family is in the military.
Yeah, I mean, I was gung ho on being in the military until like my brother went, and then he came back and is like, "Dude, you're just cannon fodder for whatever company makes the vehicles. You're supposed to sit in the vehicle till the vehicle breaks. Do not kill anyone. You know, if you shoot somebody, you're in big trouble. Do not shoot back. Just wait for the vehicle to
What the
break
fuck?
so they can buy a new one."
was he in like the Middle East?
He was in Afghanistan in infantry.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, he got pissed because, like, you know, he was 19 and he was, well, really a dumbass. You know, he was one of those kids like, "Oh, there's 12 of y'all and one of me. Let's fight. I'll kick your ass." Gets his ass beat, you know. Gets back up. I didn't say we were fucking finished. Gets his ass beat again. Did I fucking say stop? Gets his ass beat again. Gets back. Just,
Wait, your
so he was
brother?
ready to go over there and just like, you know, I'm going to either die or kill y'all. Gets over there. I can't kill anyone. I can't do shit. Why don't give me a fucking rocket launcher if I can't shoot it? This is just mental torture.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're
Question of combat in
telling me-
Afghanistan.
you're telling me your brother lost fights?
Yeah.
Damn, it's impressive.
Well, I mean, he's known, like, when I went to like my first mill job, a bunch of the guys are like, "Oh, you're Raleigh's brother?" And they think I was about to be like a dumbass. But yeah, like, dude, I've seen Raleigh go up to like a group of like 10 guys, start a fight, and just get his ass beat, and he'd literally just get back up and keep going until like the guys got tired of beating on him.
Well, damn.
But yeah, no fear, no brain cells telling him this is a bad idea.
That sounds. I mean,
Yeah, Riley's built a little different. Now, I was gonna say in a one-on-one, I don't imagine him losing to many people.
No, he just got reached like a damn gorilla.
Well, it's just
So
that
he's-
fucking tenacity, dude.
he's an animal. He'll fuck people up.
Well, no, like, you go to a standard doorway, he should be able to touch the threshold and the top of the door at the same time. I can almost do it, but he has like an inch and a half of reach on me, and we're the same height.
Huh.
Yeah.
My impression of combat in Afghanistan is like, you make contact with the enemy, usually through them shooting at you with a sniper or whatever. You take cover, you like send a recon guy or whatever to like figure out where the enemy is, and then you just like wait and call in a fucking airstrike.
Oh yeah, no, he said you have to sit there and just let them shoot at you until guys show up in the little birds and fuck up the building.
Yeah.
Like, if the U.S. military kills them, that could be an incident. The private military has to go kill them.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, because if the U.S. military kills them, we owe them money.
What?
Yeah, you got to pay like $4,000 a head for the dead bodies.
For wait, I'm so confused. What
Who?
is this? What
I'm
war
pretty
is?
sure we had to give the Afghanis money for all the
Is
ones we
this
killed.
is this what war is? Is that
Modern war. Dude,
Well,
if we killed,
it was a weird war too, because it's just like small pockets of
I'm so fucking confused right now.
resistance, and then like us playing different groups of like there's like factions in the Taliban, and like us playing like different groups off each other.
yeah, because then the main thing is if you kill all the enemy, there's no more war. No more war means no more paycheck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And if you just released all these cornbread-fed boys on Afghanistan with all that high-tech weaponry, there will not be an enemy left soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's just a question of political will and like how much civilian casualties are we willing to tolerate and shit like that. But like our ability to achieve, we could have achieved military victory pretty quickly. Then the question is just like occupying and dealing with insurgency and all that,
Yeah.
because that's really tough. Like in Iraq, you know, we clobbered the conventional military of Iraq, but holding the territory and dealing with insurgency is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it's that tough. Just every boy that tries to fight you, you kill.
Right, if you could have a policy like that, but I don't think we're willing to have that kind of scorched earth, like assume everybody's the enemy until otherwise.
No, just everyone that points a gun at you dies. If they're not willing to point a gun at you, they can live.
Right.
You know,
And like in Iraq, they got really good at like IEDs and like using like weird places we wouldn't expect an attack to happen or come from, and like, you know, it makes morale really tough because like, you know, it's terrifying knowing that every time you go on some dumbass patrol, like, you know, because they had a lot of patrols like around our facilities, like, oh, your job is to like go scan for IEDs or like people waiting with mortars around Air Force bases.
Yeah.
Every time you go and just like drive around, you don't know if you will come back.
Yeah, exactly.
honestly, that was the not so scary part of the military in my brain. Even as a kid, like I could handle that.
The fuck.
The what they're doing in Ukraine, like the trench warfare, like the actual conventional military versus conventional military warfare, that kills me. I'm terrified of, like, if I had to fight Russia, that's scary.
Right now, and I'll admit that I'm a Russia boo, but like right now, I think the best military force on earth that actually knows how to fight a war is Russia.
I mean, I agree that it's not even like the soldiers and all that; it's their factories. They actually make more bullets than they shoot.
Then.
Yeah, and like artillery shells and stuff. We're like scrambling with our thumb up our ass trying to set up new production lines for 155 millimeter artillery shells, and we had to like contract Turkey to help us, and they're like, oh, we might be able to get this running by 2027 or something, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Russia alone makes more military shells every year than all of NATO combined by like a factor of 1.5.
Yeah, and like people doubted their ability. Like I remember hearing in 2022, like, oh, they're gonna run out of cruise missiles and all this stupid bullshit, and I'm like, no, they're not. Like,
no, they're gonna run us out of money. Russia's plan is, dude, we can make a 30 millimeter shell for $3. It takes y'all $3,000 to make one bullet. You know, we can make a missile for $5,000 that we can just waste on y'all, while y'all need a $500,000 missile to counter it.
They just, I just heard about, like, because it was, I guess, secret or whatever, but a couple of them have crashed or been shot down in Ukraine, but there's a new small cruise missile Russia's making that's like, it can be carried on the Orlan drone, which is like a light drone, and it has like a 300-mile range and I think like a 100 kilogram warhead, but it's like a small little cruise missile, and like the estimated cost is like $10,000 each or something. It's like,
and I'm sure whatever we decide to counter it with will cost $40,000 to pop minimum, if we're that lucky. If not, it's going to cost $400,000.
It uses like a fucking. I found the engine. It's a little turbojet. It's called the S8000 Benderol. But it uses like a little Chinese like off the shelf turbojet that you can find it on Alibaba. It's like $1,000 or something.
Huh.
Yeah, because like when everyone was getting on to Russia for like, oh, they're sending out these old Cold War era tanks and all that. Our javelins are just eating them up, and I'm like, so they're sending out tanks that you can just buy for like $85,000, and we're bragging about spending $1 million a pop killing them.
I think the whole role of the tank has changed, and people are always too quick to say that they're obsolete, but the whole role of the tank has changed because you can't just do, like, Ukraine tried using textbook NATO breach tactics, like breach the first line of defense, go through there with something that can clear minefields, get behind it so you can maneuver freely, and then try to disrupt the enemy, blah, blah, blah. They tried that. They didn't even get through the first line of defense that Russia dug in closer to where the front line actually stabilized.
No,
And
doesn't Russia have more troops now than they did at the beginning of the war?
yeah, so it's absurd. You know, you hear people, like, even Trump says, like, oh, Russia's lost 1 million people. I'm like, no, they have not lost a fucking million people. Are you retarded? Like,
1 million.
like their whole army. Yeah, supposedly, I don't, you know, and obviously I don't know the exact truth, but their army's bigger now than it was at the beginning. So there's no way they've lost 1 million guys. Like, it's just not possible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, be realistic. Like, can you even fathom what 1 million people even looks like?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I follow this shit like unhealthily closely. I haven't followed it as unhealthily closely the last couple months, but for a while I knew like which exact towns they're fighting in. Like I could show you on a map where the
Where the fuck?
Yeah, I've got HOI 4 pulled up right now. I can go there.
yeah, and like I was like involved in Telegram channels that like they'll tell you like, oh, we just like flew an FPV drone into this fucking building, right? And based on those estimates, I would say like the worst days of the war, they probably lost like 1,000 people in a day, which is still insane.
Yeah, that is a lot of people.
Well, in modern stuff, like the D-Day stuff, it's like, oh yeah, we lost 6,000 Americans died to make this happen. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's a tragedy that 6,000 people are never going to see those boys. Like, 6,000 families lost those boys. But in the whole thing, scale of winning a war that big, and you're like, we lost 6,000 that day to get this done.
Yeah, and like we
win.
We were fighting the remnants of the Wehrmacht. Like most of the best troops and shit had all died in Russia by then. You know, they say that 90% of the German military was involved in the Eastern Front. And, yeah, I mean, there was, like, kids and shit defending Germany at that point.
I mean,
they put some of their decent troops, like, closer to where the Normandy and beaches and stuff were happening to try to, like, tie us up, but the real advance was the Soviet army.
oh yeah,
And people,
'cause, like,
people always say, like, oh, the Russians were just, like, tards that threw men at it until the problem was solved. Like, yes, they did have higher losses, but it's not like they were just, like, tards running. Like, I always hear people say, like, there was a time when they, like, one guy got a rifle, one guy got bullets. I'm like, okay, that maybe happened once. I don't know if there's any proof of that, but that was not a, like, regular military policy. That's retarded.
yeah, it wasn't like widespread, but yeah, no, that was like, one of my nightmares would be literally like being in that part of the Soviet Union where it's like, all right, we got 300,000 of y'all and 100,000 rifles, and we're gonna push forward. And I'm like, really?
Well, they
Seriously,
used
out
it.
there?
This is kind of cynical, but I think they used it as a way to ethnically cleanse people they didn't want a little bit.
Oh, I believe that too.
Yeah.
Like, they had, political undesirables they would just throw into, like, a ridiculous battle,
Dude, I can't stand these fucking... I swear to God, dude.
But like
Every
Russia's whole thing,
fucking-
it seems consistent in history that like they're very down, just like throw manpower into it to just swarm the other guy with just find more guys to go.
dude.
Yeah, and I think there is some truth to that, but the caricature exaggeration that they just like throw people into certain death is not true. But they're definitely, you're right that they're like, they realize that what ultimately wins is manpower.
Yeah, because like if the enemy, doesn't matter how many guns or tanks you have, if they're coming with 50,000 guys, Russia's going to come with 100,000.
And
their
what's going
tanks,
on now
and
with
their
Ukraine
bombs,
is like
and their tanks.
we can give them, we still have more stuff to give them somewhat, but like Ukraine's army I think is just gonna, if they don't surrender, which they really should if they want to preserve their country at this point, because the conditions that Russia is willing to give them haven't changed, but they're only going to get worse.
Yeah, and didn't the land that Russia wants, didn't they actually vote to try to secede to Russia a couple years ago?
Yes. And it's up to you, like, how much you want to believe that, but I think, given everything I know about that part of the world and blah, 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 it's not an exaggeration to say that almost all the people left in Donetsk and Lugansk want to be part of Russia. Like, starting in 2019, they started issuing Russian passports to people in those regions if you wanted, and you could, like, if you had a child in the hospitals there, they were like giving Russian citizenship at birth. So I think most of the people that are still there, like I would say 80-90% of them feel Russian culturally and want to be part of Russia.
Yeah, because like it's really hard for the people in charge of America to understand that some people don't hate Russia and some people may actually prefer to be part of Russia than the West.
Yeah, I mean, with Crimea, the population there is mainly Russian and then Crimean Tatar. There's actually very few Ukrainian people there, and even the few that are there, just for purely economic reasons, are happy to be part of Russia because they get a better pension and better government funding. Like, Ukraine is unfortunately pretty poor.
I mean, to be honest, I never knew Crimea was part of Ukraine until Russia invaded.
Right.
I always thought that was Russia, anyways.
It's a historical accident that it was ever part of the modern Ukrainian state because Khrushchev, who was Ukrainian, gave it to the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic, which didn't really mean anything at the time because even though they had the republics, it was all basically just the Soviet Union. And then when it fell apart, they gave it to Ukraine. But there were commentators both from that part of the world and from America. There were like CIA guys and shit that were like, this is going to be a problem. Like, it should go to Russia. And they were right. And honestly, Russia didn't give that much of a crap about legally having it until Ukraine threatened to not renew their lease for the huge naval base they have in Sevastopol.
Ergo is whispering, baby.
I'd always been like a pretty big Russia fan. Like when I was doing the video posting and all that, my top two countries was Russia, then Ukraine. And when they went to war with each other, I'm like, great, there goes my viewers.
Yeah, I think it's really sad that countries that are so close and like basically brother nations can go to war like that. Like,
yeah, like every time,
up until this, there was still kind of an understanding between Russians and Ukrainians that like we are very similar people. Our languages are very close, and like we're both Orthodox. Like, we're brother nations.
Yeah, like in 2021, try convincing the average American there was like a more than 10% difference in Ukrainian versus Russian.
Right. I will say it's a little more different than I thought. Like, I never really paid that much attention to Ukrainian, and then like when this all happened, I just tried like reading some or listening to some, and it definitely is a little more different than, like, some people try to portray it as just like Russian with a funny accent, and that's not quite true, but it's very close, you know.
Wouldn't like, I guess like Ukraine would be more like I'm gonna say like the old school Jews, like the European Jewish population would be very Ukrainian.
Yeah, for sure. Ukraine before the Holocaust and everything was like almost 10% Jewish.
and then Russia at the time would have been like 1%, 2% or something.
A little more. I think maybe 4 or 5. But there's a lot of. It's hard to know exactly because a lot of Russian Jews went crypto. Blah blah blah. But yeah.
And then
Ukraine is kind of like it was made. I don't want to say made up entirely, but there's some truth to the Russian idea that it's like an artificial nation. It was like a group of. They spoke Russian in the 1700s. They like decided to make the Ukrainian language different. It's kind of like how America chose to start spelling certain things differently. They did that, but on a bigger scale and like modified the language more.
yeah, like, I mean, there was a huge the Ukrainian language changed drastically from February 2022 to March 2022.
Yeah, and they dug up older like non-Russified ways of talking as like part of like a national pride thing or whatever. But Ukrainian is interesting because it's actually like more Slavic than Russian. Modern Russian has a lot of loan words from French and English and Latin-based words, whereas Ukrainian is actually more like real old Slavic. Like the months in Russian are Yanvar, Fevral, Mart, Avril, Maya. Like they're basically like the same as English or Spanish. And that's because they got like Latinized names for the months, but Ukrainian, I don't know them, and they're like old Slavic names. And same thing with like the days of the week and shit like that. Like they kind of like modernized it to make it more like Western European under Peter the Great, whereas Ukrainian never got that treatment.
More like I had something for this.
Peter the Based.